Hello, you're listening to ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined today by Dr. Stevens' assistant with a Dole Whip problem, JJ.
I'm always available to be an intern.
He's changing jobs too quickly. It's suspicious.
I use ChatGPT for my resume.
And Mayor Buddy Dyer's intern, Sean.
I would work for him for free.
In today's episode, we discuss which Disney IPs we would want to see less of in the parks.
Is there historical context to IP?
I do. I had some historical context here.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's no secret that intellectual property, Disney's owned and acquired, has taken over nearly every corner of Walt Disney World. From classic characters to billion-dollar franchises, IP is the driving force behind new attractions, merchandise, and even dining experiences. But as the parks become more branded than ever, it raises a fair question. Is there such thing as too much IP? In this episode, we're taking a closer look at where the integration feels forced, where the magic might be getting overshadowed, and which Disney properties we think could stand to take a step back. So, JJ, I know you had a strong feeling on one of your intellectual property ideas.
Yeah, see, sometimes IP saturation is in the eye of the beholder, right? Like, there is a ton of Toy Story out there. There's a Toy Story ride in Magic Kingdom, and then there's a whole Toy Story land in Hollywood Studios. And somehow that's not on my list, even though I think you'd imagine that maybe Buzz Lightyear in Magic Kingdom is not the best option, and maybe that is IP saturation. But to me, it's not. To me, there's just Lilo and Stitch. I don't get it. I don't get Stitches everywhere. There's so much Stitch merch available. There's a lot of Stitch at the Polynesian, but not. There's a lot of Stitch at the original Polynesian. I know the new one is a little more Moana.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I don't disagree.
Just a lot of Stitch, and it's only going to get more because the live action just came out.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch was always one of those movies that I thought was good and fine, but never understood why. Like, why can I meet Stitch in Epcot? That it just doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, they're always trying to force him in because the cute little alien guy.
I see the why people like him. I mean, he can fit any situation. You can put any type of overlay on top of Stitch, right? Like,
Oh yeah, because he could just be a rascal that messes things up.
Yes, exactly. Like him as Elvis Presley, right?
Oh yeah, that's a fun character. Yes, he dresses up as Elvis at I think it's the LA Halloween thing, right? Or is it both?
I think he does both now. Like, but you could put Stitch in, it could be Stitch pretending to be Mickey Mouse. Like, it works, right? And so I get why they would want to keep that around and keep him around for that reason. But I kind of agree with you, though, that, like, I'd rather actually see Lilo. And,
I'll bet you
always
would.
see Stitch, you never see Lilo. What? Sean?
Well, because she's a live action character. It's so much easier to put someone in a costume.
Yes. So that's true. That's very true. Yeah. But with this new live action movie coming out, and it's gonna make $1 billion. It's gonna be huge.
I think it's the first Disney live action movie that I know we're sitting here kind of disparaging the Lilo and Stitch franchise here, but I think this is the first Disney live action movie that actually looks like it has a chance to be good.
Yeah. But is that because Lilo and Stitch as a product, as the original movie wasn't that good and maybe could have benefited from some tweaking?
I don't know. I just think this feels like it could be more fun than just a new Aladdin or Lion King.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well those they were just trying to do a shot for shot remake. They just made a worse version of what they already had.
Yeah, and this looks like they picked out really good actors and actresses. Stitch actually looks good. I think he works. I was
It
worried
doesn't
about
bug me.
him. It doesn't bug me.
Right.
I was worried that it was going to be too CGI or too real. If it
Yeah.
looked real, like too real, it'd be like that's weird. You know what I mean? So I think they got a good mix between that, and it's kind of funny because by the time this show comes out, Lilo and Stitch will have already been out for like I think 2 weeks.
What could possibly go wrong?
All right, I'll segue. The first thing on my list, and I know this is shared. I'll save my potential scorching hot take for the pod for my later edition here. But I've been over Frozen for a long time. I know that's a shared opinion on at least one other person's list here. I was annoyed when they overlaid Norway to make it all Frozen. I don't like the Frozen ride. I don't think future Frozen movies are going to be good, are going to have anywhere near the lasting power that the first one had. And I just think all the oversaturation of Frozen is only going to look more and more dated and look worse as the years go on. I don't get it. I'd love to see it go.
It's going to take a long time for Frozen to get dated with 2 more movies coming out. Whether they're good or not, people are going to go see at least the third one. So, that's going to keep it relevant for a while. Also, I would say that be glad then that they didn't just build a whole Arendelle, because with 4 movies, you're in Arendelle territory, and they already have Frozen in 2 parks and basically every nighttime spectacular.
Yeah, that was gonna be my point. Was that I'm just sick of hearing, Let It Go or,
Into
always
the
hearing
Unknown.
it. Into the Unknown. Yeah, in the nighttime spectaculars in general. And that kind of leads me into mine, specifically because I'm talking about the nighttime fireworks. Is Moana. I'm kind of sick of hearing how far I'll go in every new fireworks show that they create.
Most streamed show of 2024.
Yeah, no,
So,
I know it definitely is, and it's definitely popular. And I didn't get to see Moana 2 yet. I haven't seen it yet.
It's okay.
Not as good. I feel like you're really taking a dip down by not having Lin-Manuel Miranda do your music. Probably should have brought him back.
It could have been saved if the story were a little stronger.
Moana 2 is Frozen 2. It's the same thing.
No, Frozen 2 is good.
Okay, well, it's the same. It's the
Frozen
same
2
concept.
is a better movie than Moana 2. But Moana 2, like, it just kind of ends. There isn't like a big, like, it's all building up to this big thing, and then it just fizzles out. There's no, and again, it might be because there's no, like, the bad guy is a little, like, there's not really a bad guy.
Yeah. And I think it was supposed to be a TV show. Before.
Yes, it was, and you can tell that it was
the
animation in some spots is a little bare for Disney. It definitely looks like they had a TV budget in mind for some of the backgrounds and stuff. Like, it's not as intricate. You can tell like they were like, oh, this part was like they just lifted this from the TV show that we'll never see. Like this scene.
Well, so we have Moana, the walkthrough in Epcot. She's in every parade. She's in every nighttime spectacular. That wasn't obviously that's been made in the last 5 years. And the Island Tower at the Polynesian. She's all over the place.
Heavily featured, yeah.
Heavily featured. I do actually like though how they did put a lot of Moana in the Island Tower, but it's subtle. They did a good job in doing that. It's just like I feel like you're every time you're turning around, like you see something with Moana.
I understand all of this, but I still would love a Moana water ride, like a big, like a Splash Mountain-esque ride in Magic Kingdom, like something big like that, or the Shanghai Pirates? That's like the crazy with the crazy effects.
Yeah.
If that were like a Moana boat ride, I could get into that too.
It's funny, like I agree with that actually. Like
I agree with that, but you think it's a little too much. But it's maybe
Elsewhere.
about the concentration of it, right? Like we give Moana a ride, and then we can take away some of this other stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of having like sprinkles of Moana everywhere, give me a concentrated area where it's like that's the Moana land, that's the Moana ride in this whatever land.
A Moana ride, and then a Moana meet and greet right outside of it, and then call it a day.
Yeah. Or maybe there's one of those luau's with a pig roasting, and you get to eat pua.
Jesus.
Or you could eat what's the chicken? Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Did you order the pua or the hey?
Hey, nugget.
I'm in agreement with Shopee. I've never liked Moana. I never thought it was very good. I thought it was one of the weaker new movies that came out, and just seeing it everywhere now is just like, I don't know, why? Let's give other things spotlights. I was never into Moana. And to Shopee's other point, I think we the people could all use a break from Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Really? Oh, that was not my point. I don't know. I want more Lin.
Oh God. Oh, I'm so over him too.
Encanto, I mean, that's great music.
He's extremely talented. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda is fantastic.
Yeah, don't put me in that boat, Sean.
So my next one, I'm also going to get Sean all revved up because I know he likes this franchise and the things that I'm going to speak ill of. It's Nemo. Nemo is again in too many different places. It appears in nighttime shows. It's got Turtle Talk with Crush. It's got the Living Seas. The whole Sea Pavilion is Nemo.
What nighttime show is?
And then Nemo, don't they have a moment where
Happily Ever After.
In Happily Ever After, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little thing, but it's there. And then it also has the show in Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like one thing too many.
Yeah.
And like Nemo's not for me and ruined my relationship with my father-in-law, but but maybe I'm just projecting.
That's so funny.
I love the seas. It's one of my favorite things in Epcot, and I like Finding Nemo. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna do anything more with the franchise though. So it does feel like maybe some of those things could be repurposed. But I don't know how you like. I don't know.
I think the sea should stay Nemo. I think I like that. I mean, that works with their MO of shoehorning IP into these things, and they can really, they can go more ecological and more edutainment within that, but still have Nemo there in the background of it. Maybe that show isn't forever. That Nemo show isn't gonna last.
You know, it's so funny. I last time Emily and I went to Animal Kingdom, it was in March, and we went and saw the show for the first time ever. I'd never seen it, and I actually left it thinking like, "Oh, that wasn't too bad." Emily was like, "What did we just watch? That was a waste of 30 minutes." And I was like, "Wow, this is like a Broadway puppet show."
Yeah. I think it's a good show. It's also just a good way to get into the air conditioner for 35 minutes.
Yeah. She was not a fan, to say the least. It must be an expensive production, though. There's a lot of characters.
Being a puppeteer that can sing, that's gotta command that's gotta be a well-paid person at the.
Yeah, that's not a cheap production.
As for a cat, that's a specialized skill.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Lion King too. That's a expensive production.
Oh yeah,
especially the monkey acrobats.
The acrobats, the level of singers that they have there. It's got to be very hard to get that gig.
Yeah.
You made it! I knew you would.
The last one on my list is I am generally over people trying to make Figment a thing still.
Wow.
I think it's like move on. Find something else to obsess over. At this point, it's a weird cult thing. Let it go. Be gone with it. I'm so tired of every couple of years there's a new Figment doll, new Figment shirts, a new Figment thing in Epcot. Let it go. Be over with it. Find something new.
I think that the Figment character is cute, but everything I know of Figment is horrific.
Yeah. like the character itself is just a representation of how awful everything to do with it is.
So I do think that it's clearly, and it's there's nothing clearer than Disney World pushing, or the Disney company pushing Figment, that shows that of like a money grab, right? Like they know that people will buy it, and so they're making it, but yet they're not investing in the character at all. Like they're not trying to improve that intellectual property. It's just a straight up money grab.
And the ride is horrendous. With they hired a quote famous person that was already past fame, a post fame Eric Idle. He was famous he hasn't been famous since 1990, and they got him for this ride in 2002 or whatever this version is.
Right. Yeah. Where does he come from? Monty Python or something?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Monty Python guy.
I mean, where have you heard when was the last time you heard of Monty Python?
Exactly.
Irrelevant at all.
Exactly.
I mean, I love Monty Python. Holy Grail is like my middle school years.
It's a classic, but it's not a Disney classic, and it's certainly not the level of having if that were some Disney legend that hadn't been in something since the 80s. If it were Julie Andrews, you go, okay, well, she's not culturally relevant A-lister, but she's Julie Andrews. She's a legend. Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would make a lot more sense if it was a Disney legend as the, whatever.
And he also doesn't deserve to be like the mascot of a festival.
He's the mascot of everything at Epcot.
Yeah, and I'm totally for original IP, right? Like he's a park specific original IP, and I love that.
But
do something with him.
This is the complaint, though. This is Disney said, we gave you original IP. You hate this guy. Okay. So we're going back. We're going to give you the stuff that we know you like.
Epcot deserves better than Figment.
Or they need to remake Figment. They need to remake the ride. And if it
they need to reboot. They need to reboot Figment. I think people love that little purple dragon so much. They just need to reboot it in a way that's good. They need to create the Figment cinematic universe.
Figment cinematic,
just like they did, just like they did with Iron Man, and they started the MCU. They got to do it for Figment. And then you'll never be able to escape Figment because they don't have to sell the rights to Universal to pay for it.
I hate these ideas.
So actually that is all of mine, because I pretty much had Frozen and Moana in the Nighttime Spectaculars. To be honest, I think Disney does do a good job of spreading out the IP because they have so much property. They have so much intellectual property.
Yeah, but I actually like when the IP is concentrated within a certain area or land.
Yeah.
So I have one more, and it's kind of more of a general concept, and it applies to Frozen because there's so many sprinkles of Frozen everywhere. But I have the Little Mermaid. They closed that show. Little Mermaid was just in the Magic Kingdom, and then in Filler Magic and in the nighttime shows you'll hear, because the music of Little Mermaid's incredible. And I like the Little Mermaid, but reopening that show in Hollywood Studios is just wait, is that really the best use of that space?
It certainly is not the best use of that space.
Right, exactly. So, and that also that also kind of leads me to well, what happens to the indie stunt show when there's an Indiana Jones ride in Animal Kingdom? Like, does then that become there's too much indie at the parks? Like,
I don't think
No,
so.
I'm okay with that because they're serving two completely different purposes. Like the indie stunts show is almost like educational and
right,
like
it's like this is how stunts are done in the movies, and we're using a
Yeah.
movie that you know and love.
right.
But I think that concept's actually dated because if you're gonna do here's a movie you know and love that's an action movie,
Yeah.
I don't think that's Indiana Jones for kids anymore.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. Yeah.
But I think it also helps that they're in two separate parks, so it doesn't feel as they will eventually be in two separate parks. It helps.
Yeah,
And
I guess it does.
I don't know if the movie really matters that most, like, or it matters that much. It's it's the stunts that you're seeing that is like the really cool thing, right? And it helps that you're not. It's not like Disney's asking you to suspend reality and pretend you're in an Indiana Jones movie in two different parks. If they were doing that, like there was an India Land in two different parks, that'd be weird. You know what I mean? It's like, why is that the case? The indie stunt show is they're telling you, no, this is a movie set. This is not. You're not in Indiana Jones.
Right, you're not in a ride.
It's the last relics of Hollywood Studios is a functioning movie studio. The other one is Star Tours, which actually goes both ways. Because when you're walking into it, it is that because it's like it's purposely done like a movie set where like it's not a full tree. It's what would be shown. They only build what would show on the camera.
Right.
Like so it looks like a movie set, and then you're on the ride, and it becomes you're at this airport, and it takes you somewhere.
I mean that
the outside
that
almost
ride
doesn't match the inside, and I feel like that ride's got to be on the short list of the chopping block.
I guess so, but they keep on updating it, and it's easy to update.
It's easy to update.
But I don't think the ease of updating it. I don't think that extends its life. I think I could see Star Wars staying around at Disneyland, Star Tours staying around at Disneyland, and I could see it. I could see it in the coming years getting the boot at Hollywood Studios if they were to expand Galaxy's Edge or just put something
they
new.
Can't extend Galaxy's Edge anymore because they put Monstropolis there.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, you've got Harry Potter, and you've got Harry Potter in 3 different parks, and on the other side of town. They can do it if they want to do it. They'll do it.
I think that might happen with if the third Star Wars movie went a little better. If Rise of Skywalker ended a little better, I would not be surprised if there was going to be, much like Harry Potter, a Star Wars land in each park.
Yeah.
And still, if you said to me, we're doing a 5th gate, we have to do a 5th gate, I would not be surprised if it was original trilogy, if it was Tatooine, and they gave us original trilogy Star Wars land.
That'd be cool.
There's no other point to locking in the timeline.
Right.
How they did. You're going to give me a Star Wars land and not give me Darth Vader? What are you doing?
Right.
Like, well, what if there's another Star Wars land that has Vader? So this way you have a Kylo Ren. You got a Kylo Ren land. You've got a Vader land.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah.
And the 5th gate would kind of be like Epic Universe in the sense that you have like
your portals of
anchored,
IP.
You're anchored by IP in different sections of the park.
Portals of
not bad.
Okay, so maybe I was going to say.
Well, maybe this is an episode.
It's a whole nother episode.
This is an episode.
Right,
another whole episode.
We can't give this away for free, guys.
No, we gotta give this away on its own dedicated week.
Yeah.
What would Disney's Epic Universe look like? I'm into that.
Disney's Epic Universe. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put a pin in that one.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So is that the only IP that's bugging us?
I think it's the only thing that's bugging me. My biggest issue with IP is actually less how oversaturated it is and more when it's shoehorned in somewhere where it just feels like it doesn't quite belong. And I think that happens more often than oversaturation. And my biggest thing of this is the Snow White bar in the Grand Floridian. I think it's
you mean the Beauty and the Beast? Beauty and the
Beast bar in the Grand Floridian.
Enchanted Rose.
That makes 0 sense, but whatever. It's a good bar, I guess. It's not.
Well, it will be a good bar again. It will once this bar opens in the lobby. I think it will be a good bar again.
We'll see.
It didn't last very long in Mouse Madness, so
No, it did not. No, and it, rightfully so. It's too crowded. It's too popular.
My issue, I mean, when what the
we got to be making money off of this. Idea's just too good.
Sorry, Sean. What was that?
Yeah.
No, I was saying when I was there. I mean, we always have this. You say places are super crowded. I'm like, when I was there was nobody there. Yeah, when I was at Enchanted Rose, there was like 6 people in the place.
It's so funny that we live in like 2 different worlds of Disney World, right? Like I've never been able to just walk into the
Cava del Tequila.
The Clava de Tequila. Yeah. I've never been able to.
That's only what I'm used to. I've never waited on a line.
That's insane. To me, that's insane. Sometimes the line starts at the entrance of the pyramid.
It is always a walk-up attraction for me.
I'm somewhere in between. There's always a little bit of a line, maybe like 5 or 6 people, and sometimes it's just one group.
Right, right.
It's just like 5 people looking to buy 5 margaritas, and then all of a sudden you're next.
Well, like the line will start in that big room with the cocoa stuff, right? And
I mean, that's where it was for my bachelor party. It was right.
Yeah, it was up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it got there while we were there. Yeah,
it goes down the ramp, and then there's switchbacks. There's switchbacks right in front of the bar. That's insane. That's the life of a teacher. You can only go.
Right. You're only going on.
Right. You're going the most popular times of the year to go.
Yeah. And the fact that you have passes, you're not necessarily like looking to zig when everyone's zagging. You're just like, okay, I'm here.
Right.
You can be a little more relaxed about adhering to a specific schedule to maximize your park day.
Right, like sometimes we won't even look at the crowd calendar because like it that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I want to go to Epcot. I don't care if it's a 9.
Do you really base a lot of your trips on the crowd calendar?
Not me.
Oh, okay. I used to. I would never consider even like I'm just going to Disney World. When I can go, I go. If the crowds are crowded, it's crowded. If it's not, it's not.
I use the crowd calendar to decide what parks I'm doing which day.
Yeah, I would use it more if I lived there, and I was like, "Oh, let's not go this Saturday; it's going to be crowded."
Oh, I mean, I feel like if I lived there, I would never go on the weekends. It's just that if you didn't have to,
No, because you'd still want to go on a Saturday. You would.
Yeah, I mean, are you envisioning living in Florida and not having a job?
I quit. No,
insert the that thing you do. I quit. I quit.
Depending on how many 5-star reviews this podcast gets, maybe.
Has it gotten any?
Let's start leaving them.
Yeah.
Please.
All right. What do you guys think about game time?
Yeah, we got time for a game.
You have time, JJ?
Yeah, we can do a short game. We can do a nice short game. Keep it a mini episode for the people. And it's going to be a really simple game, too. It's going to be a little overrated, underrated. Everybody knows the rules to that. Just tell me if you think this is overrated or underrated. We've kind of been talking about this whole episode already.
I'm in full hater mode. Let's go.
Overrated, underrated. Disney buses.
I'm going to say underrated.
Underrated. Yeah.
Completely underrated.
Yeah.
They give too much hate on the buses when you shouldn't give hate on the buses. You should give hate to the EVs that take so long to get onto the bus.
I will.
But you can't hate on someone that needs to be in a vehicle like that.
I don't hate the people. I hate when their family of 25 people gets to go on the bus.
Oh, gets to jump on the bus before you.
And I've been waiting on the line for a half hour. And this one person and their 30-person family reunion gets to take up 2/3 of the bus.
Yeah.
And they're all wearing the same damn shirt.
Wow, that's nice.
We're nothing but honest here.
Boys, watch your manners.
Yeah, if you can't say something nice.
Boys.
Okay, next one, Expedition Everest.
I don't know. I think people get weird about the Yeti and how it doesn't really work anymore. But I think the ride itself is properly rated. It's not the best ride in Disney World, but I don't think it's a bad ride. I don't think it gets a lot of hate or unnecessary praise. I just think people get weird about the Yeti.
Yeah. I think that the Yeti not working is overrated. Like the hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can barely see
the discourse around that.
Worked,
yeah.
And you see the Yeti for like less than half a second. You see the Yeti.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with Disco Yeti.
Yeah, Disco Yeti is fine. I actually think that Expedition Everest is underrated. It's the second best roller coaster at Disney World. I like it more than Rock and Roller Coaster.
You like it more than Rock and Roller Coaster?
It's the second best roller coaster in Walt Disney World.
I would agree with that. And it was up until just recently the best roller coaster in Walt Disney World.
Right.
And it does not get the same level of love as like, say, Galaxy, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, you don't have to.
Well, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is in a different class of ride.
Yeah. But like, what do you think is a better ride? Expedition Everest or Flight of Passage?
Flight of Passage for me.
Probably Flight of Passage.
I kind of think
Expedition Everest is more re-rideable. Like, I can ride Expedition Everest. Like, which ride are you going to ride 4 times in one day?
I mean, I would happily ride. Everest. I would ride Flight of Passage as many times as I could.
When I get off of Flight of Passage, I'm like, yes, that was awesome, right? But I'm not like, I need to get online immediately. When I get off of Everest, I'm like, looking for that single rider.
Single rider line is great on Everest. I almost always ride Everest twice when I go because you hop right on, you hop right on, you hop right off, and you're like, let's do that again.
I'm agreeing with you, JJ.
I basically just ride it until I have to wait for longer than 10 minutes in the single rider lane. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's twice, sometimes it's 4 times. Like,
how? That's proprietary.
The water parks.
Overrated. So easily overrated.
I've never been there before. I've never been to any of the water parks.
That says a lot.
I think in the early days of Disney, maybe not overrated, but I'm so surprised that they're still like open and active when there's like every resort has a great pool, and a lot of these great pools are starting to get a lot more creative with like getting slides and lazy rivers and having really good features for the kids at the pools. I am always stunned when I hear that the water parks are still even remotely popular with guests.
You know what's crazy? On your check-in day, you can go to the water parks for free. And they're continuing it.
Yeah, this year and next year.
Which means that so little people are going to this water park that
no.
We could just give this away.
They are possibly, but this deal that they give you now has become so popular that they're turning down people at Blizzard Beach. When there's only one water park operational, they're getting way too many people because everyone's taking advantage of this, which actually I think is a great offer.
I almost want to say this is underrated because we never go to the water park, and it's such a good deal to go right now.
Right,
but you wouldn't go if you didn't have the deal.
I wouldn't even consider going.
There's a lot of things I would do if I was given a discount. I just think the fact that you are only considering going because there's a good deal, I think that kind of tells the story. Yeah.
Next one is going to be this one's for Andrew, DVC.
Underrated or overrated?
Yeah.
I think it's underrated. There's aspects of it that are overrated. I think that the prominence that Disney is putting on DVC and only making DVC resorts right now make it overrated. But I do think that it is a very good product. And as far as timeshares go, like it is I feel like the best timeshare product out there. And so in that sense, it's underrated.
Yeah, I'm not a DVC member. I think there are parts of it. I think parts of it could be overrated or underrated, but I think the product itself, I think it's a finely rated.
Right now, it's properly rated. It's extremely popular, so I'm a little worried that they are going to start taking away some of the perks, which might make it then overrated. If they pull your level of annual pass that you're able to buy, if they say, well, you don't live in Florida, so you can't get the resident pass anymore, that'd be a big loss.
Yeah, so all those things are called magical extras, and they are subject to change.
Of course,
they're not guaranteed at all.
There's a point where if you lose enough of those, you're better off having just gone to Port Orleans or the Swan and Dolphin or whatever, right?
Yeah. It's funny. I had Chat GPT calculate my DVC break even year, right? So when it will have broke even on my DVC purchase, and it took into account a 3% annual increase in hotel rates. I told it that I could probably get always a 20% discount on hotel rates if I wasn't DVC. Yeah. And then I also told it, then it's calculating annual dues increase and the opportunity costs. When you take $30,000 and you spend it on DVC, that could have been in the stock market. So,
right. It could have been a stock market. It could have been It could have been a rental property, down payment on rental property.
Right. I put the opportunity cost as a 4% savings account, like just a high interest savings account. Because you can't.
We have a Capital One that's like that. It's like 4% or 4.5%.
Yeah. Yeah. And it came back with 2037. 2037 would be. Oh no, I'm sorry. 2034. 2034 would be my break-even year.
That's not too bad. It's like, 12 years?
I know. It's not too bad, but it's also like, so you're not really saving any money until...
Yeah, but if you think about the lifetime of your contract...
Right. So...
You come out ahead at the end, yeah.
You come out ahead at the end, yeah. As long as you're going to consistently go,
Yeah.
Right.
Wait a minute. I love that idea.
Okay. Let's do one more, and then we'll send everybody on their way. Casey's Corner.
Ooh,
I have a good one for this. I think it's underrated.
I think it's overrated.
So underrated.
Really?
Come on.
I think people don't go there and avoid it. Actually,
I was gonna say, I think it's a place that people naturally stay away from because they have this built-in, preconceived notion that it's going to be insanely crowded, and it usually never is for me. Especially now that you order it's a place that you have to order your food on the app, so you're ordering your food and you're going to pick it up. But I think Casey's Corner is a great place to if you can sneak in there at the right time. It's a great place to hang out and watch the fireworks. And I think it's just a good place a good safe place to have if you got kids who are going to be, they know they like hot dogs. So it's a good place to just get a quick meal. But yeah, I think Casey's Corner is underrated in terms of just what it offers.
Piggyback off of you too, they have the piano player outside that, that is great. They do they have an opening first pitch before they open the.
Oh, really? I've never seen that.
Yeah, you look that up on YouTube. It's a pretty cool thing. And then I think they sing "Take Me Back to the Ballpark" or whatever that is, right?
Take me out to the ball game.
Takes me out to the ball game. Yeah, something like that, right?
whatever that timeless song is.
And you know what? I always thought that this would be a place that honorary geek Michael would never like, right? Because he's vegan. But they actually apparently have a very good vegan hot dog. And so, that's actually the place he wants to go to most when we're in Magic Kingdom. Yeah, I think it's a little bit underrated. I think people avoid it because they just think hot dog. You know what I mean? But the whole establishment there, the backstory and history, Casey's Corner, it's really a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the history. I like all that stuff, but it gets so much love online, and it is just hot dogs.
It is.
Listen,
it is just a hot dog.
Hot dogs are great.
Hot dogs are great.
Yeah,
hot dogs are great. But like, let's not pretend that this is like magical cuisine that you can't get anywhere else. Like, there are a dozen places where you can get this exact meal.
Actually, I don't know where else can you get a hot dog other than
I was
like a
just going to
ballpark?
say, I don't know. A Sonic, maybe? You can get hot dogs at Sonic.
Oh, yeah. I think Checkers has
a hot dog. Like,
I would never
Nathan's
trust a hot dog from anywhere other than
Nathan's.
a ballpark.
Nathan's hot dog. 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven has got hot dogs. They're everywhere.
I'm not.
Again,
not
I would
eating a
not trust a
7-Eleven
hot
hot dog,
dog.
yeah.
That's not like at a ballpark.
All summer long, anywhere you go, you can have a hot dog at a
hot
friend's
dog
house.
summer. Hot dog summer.
Costco hot dog.
Costco
Yeah,
hot
Costco's
dog.
are everywhere. I have the Costco hot dog all the time.
One of those companies that makes like unofficial, official Disney T-shirts. I forget which one this is called.
Yeah.
There's a really good Casey's Corner T-shirt that I keep.
Oswald and Sons.
That's the one. Yeah,
Oswald
that
and
one.
Sons. That's
There's a
where I
couple
got
that are
the
always
I
sold
had the
out.
La Cava del Tequila hat from them.
Totally underrated.
It's just a hot dog.
I guess I also haven't seen like the level of love that you're saying from online.
Yeah, people love the fake cheese sauce there, and they love the corn dog nuggets. And again, those are just the same everywhere. It's the same everywhere. Hot dogs, okay. I mean, it's great. Like, I like hot dogs, but I just think like this is being elevated for no reason, and someone that doesn't have any love for Disney World or this is, you're going to be like, let's go to Casey's Corner. It's going to be great. They're going to be like, this is a hot dog. I've had a hot dog before.
And especially like I'm not a condiment guy. You know what I mean? So like I'm not putting ketchup or mustard on my hot dog or
you eat a
relish.
plain dog?
There's a plain dog guy.
Well, I'll put hot sauce. I'll put hot sauce on it.
Okay.
I would put cheese on it before I put.
Do you get the cheese sauce at Casey's?
To be honest, I don't remember last time I ate there.
Okay.
You have a strong defense for it, but you can't remember the last time.
Yeah, you're so ready to call it.
Yeah.
To call it underrated. Maybe it's because you personally underrated by never going there. I think it was a pretty successful round of overrated, underrated.
Yeah. I kind of want a hot dog now.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm having hot dogs for dinner.
Hey, can I give you my underrated, overrated? Can I throw one in here?
Yeah, at the buzzer. Sure.
Dapper Dan's. What do you think?
Underrated. I want to be a Dapper Dan.
I don't think I've ever. I've never taken the time out of my day. I appreciate why they exist. I appreciate that they're there. It's something I will almost never stop to watch or.
Oh, actually, sorry.
See.
No,
Yeah.
I'd rather be a Voice of Liberty. That's more my thing. The Voices of Liberty. That is fun. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. The Voice of Liberty. But I like the Dapper Dans. I like barbershop stuff though. I did classes.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I
just if I'm walking by it, oh cool, and I'm keeping going.
I took a class about barbershop harmony before, but
I think it would.
I'm a nerd, so
it would be properly rated or underrated if they just had more of them, and so then more like options to watch. But like everyone's just like in love with the Dapper Dans, and
That's another thing that people just get weirdly obsessive about, and it's like this.
Yeah.
Not every Disney thing has to be this like cult icon. Yeah. Although I think Dapper Day is cool. When they do like people go like
where
Disney
everybody gets
dress like they're going like Kentucky Derby or something. I can't imagine dressing that way in 95-degree Orlando weather, but that's kind of cool.
I think it's in the winter.
I'll do it at Disneyland. I'd do it at Disneyland. Get dressed up in a dapper suit.
Okay, so instead of 95 degrees, it's 85 degrees.
But it's no humidity, so it's really more like 80.
He calls it air cooling.
All right, Sean, you want to take us out?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the ReedyGeeks podcast. Like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Any questions, comments, concerns, future titles, or topics, email us at reedygeeks@gmail.com and check us on our socials at ReedyGeeks. We'll see you next time.
This week's Honest Send-Off comes courtesy of Linus from Long Island. If you have an honest send-off that you want played at the end of one of our episodes, please submit an audio clip to us via our email address, reedygeeks@gmail.com. ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast, is hosted and executive produced by Andrew Shopee, Sean Murphy, and JJ Hefner. Music and audio engineering by JJ Hefner.
Bon voyage.